Welcome viewers back to our YouTube channel. Let's learn mathematics together. It's me once again, Tr.Samson, taking you through the lesson today once again. Let's begin with going through yesterday's work. We looked at finding equivalent fractions using the knowledge of multiples. And these are some of the questions that I left for you to practice. Let's go through them in case you fail to get the answer correct. So the first equivalent fraction, they asked us that find the equivalent fraction for 3 out of 4. We said we multiply through by a common factor. We multiply the numerator and the denominator with the same factor, each at a time. So in our previous exercise, I remember they asked you to find the next 3 equivalent fractions. So let's see. 3 out of 4 is equals, we say 3 out of 4 times 2. First of all, times 2. This will give us 3 times 2 is 6, and then 4 times 2 is 8. The next equivalent fraction will be 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 multiplied by 3, multiplied by 3, and this will give us 9 out of 12. And then the next equivalent fraction will be 3 out of 4 times 4 times 4. And this will give us, this is 12 out of 16. And the equivalent fraction to 3 out of 4 will be 6 out of 8, 9 out of 12, and 12 out of 16. Those are the next 3 equivalent fractions. This third will be 1 out of 3 times 2 times 2. This will give us 2 out of 6. And then multiply through by 3. This will give us 3 out of 9. And then still multiply through by 4. This will give us 4 out of 12. So those are the next equivalent fractions to a third. 2 out of 6, 3 out of 9, and then 4 out of 12. This one will be 2 out of 11 times 2 times 2. This will give us 4 out of 22. Multiply through by 3, it will give us 6 out of 33. Then multiply through by 4, it will give us 8 out of 44. So the next 3 given fraction is 2 out of 11 will be 4 out of 22. 6 out of 33, and then 8 out of 44. This one will be 2 out of 5 times 2 times 2 will give us 4 out of 10. 2 out of 5 multiplied through by 3 will give us 6 out of 15. 2 out of 5 multiplied through by 4 will give us 8 out of 20. So the next equivalent fraction for 2 out of 4 are these ones. Okay? Lastly, a quarter multiplied through by 2 will give us 2 out of 8. A quarter multiplied through by 3 will give us 3 out of 12. And then a quarter multiplied through by 4 will give us 4 out 16. So the next divide fraction is 2. 1 out of 4 will be 2 out of 8, 3 out of 12, and 4 out of 16. Don't forget that you should list them here. 2 out of 8, 3 out of 12, and then 4 out of learners in our class. In today's lesson, we are going to look at reducing fractions to their lowest terms. Reducing fractions to their lowest terms. Here, when reducing fractions to their lowest terms, we divide both the numerator and the denominator by the same factor. We divide the numerator and the denominator with the same factor until there is no more factor to divide both. For example, we are going to reduce the following fractions to their lowest possible terms. So we begin dividing through by the lowest factor possible that can divide through by both the numerator and the denominator. For this case, the last numbers are even numbers. That means we are going to divide through by 2 as the lowest factor. Therefore, this will be 18 divided by 2 out of 24 divided by 2. This will give us 18 divided by 2 will give us 9. Okay? Out of 24 divided by 2 will give us 12. This one also has a common factor. 9 out of 12 also has a common factor that can divide it through. So we shall have 9 out of 12. And if we look through, we realize that the common factor that can divide through 9 and 12 is 3. So we divide through by 3. And then 12 also divided by 3. This will give us 9 divided by 3 is 3. Out of 12 divided by 3, we get 4. Now you realize that there is no another common factor that is going to divide through by this. Therefore, the lowest term is 3 out of 4. Our example number 2 is we are reducing 16 out of 24 to the lowest possible term. That means we are going to divide through beginning with the lowest factor being 2, because 6 is an even number and 4 is an even number. Therefore, we divide through by 2 first. 16 divided by 2 out of 24 divided by 2. This will give us 16 divided by 2, we find that we shall get 8. Okay? Then 24 divided by 2, we find that we are going to get 12. We find that 8 out of 12 can still further be divided by 2. So 8 out of 12 divided by 2, and then 12 also divided by 2. This will give us 8 divided by 2, we get 4. And then 12 divided by 2, we shall get 6. Still, these are all even numbers. They can still be reduced by 2. That means we have 4 out of 6 divided by 2, and then 6 also divided by 2. This will give us 4 divided by 2 is 2 out of 6 divided by 2 is 3. So here we see that this is the lowest term. There is no another factor that can divide through by 2 and 3. So the lowest term there is that. So this is how we reduce fractions to their lowest terms. Let's go through this activity and you write it in your notebook and work it out. The activity tells us to reduce these fractions to their lowest terms. So take your time, go through the examples, and then work out this activity correctly, so that next time we go to the next lesson. Thank you for being a good learner. Continue following our videos. Don't forget to like our channel. let's learn mathematics together. Like, comment, share, turn on your notification bell so that you will be receiving the notifications whenever a new video is posted. Thank you so much.